humming and hawing like, do we need another video on goals? But here's the thing. Most people are simply butchering goals right now. It's not even halfway through January and I'm already receiving messages from people to say, oh no, I'm not inspired by my goals and I don't know if I'm going to make it, and maybe it's become like New Year's resolutions, and now they're saying that goals are bad for us because it's bad for my self-esteem and my self-worth and whatever the fuck. So I decided to do you a favor and make this video series for you on how to set goals like an alpha. Now I'm also going to say this, if you're one of those people who just want an average life with average results, this is definitely not for you. So you can just, I don't know, exit the building. Left. However, if you are an alpha and you're ready to take your life to the next level, then let's get started. Let's start at the very beginning, a very good place to start. Okay, serious face, this is serious business. Not really. Oh, okay, let's get this together. Before you even think about setting another goal, I want you to ask yourself, why are you even setting goals? Is it because you heard about the Harvard study where those MBA students who wrote down their goals made more money faster than the other people, and so now you think that setting goals is the magic pill that is going to make you more successful? Because if that is the case, I'm going to have to burst your bubble. Goal setting is not a magic pill, darling. The reason why those students were more successful was because they chose to be the people who got really clear on their desires, really clear on why it's important to them, took the time to write it down, and then every single day took action to bring their goals to fruition. It's not the goal writing or the goal in and of itself, it's who they chose to be. So if you are setting goals because you think you have to set goals to be successful, or you think that setting goals is going to make you successful, then don't set goals, because you're probably shooting yourself in the foot. But if you are one of those people who love the game, one of those people who love the sense of achievement, which alphas do, if you're one of those people who love being focused, love being in the zone, love being continuously challenged and getting yourself into little interesting situations where you have to turn up the jube in your head so that you can get more creative ideas. If you are the type of person who wants to consistently and continuously grow in this life experience, then goals are for you. The actual purpose of goals is for you to have a life experience of constant and never-ending improvement. It is about you growing as a person. It's about you knowing where it is that you desire to have your next life experience, and then becoming the person who has that experience in the way you think, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you converse. The goal in and of itself is just a tool, darling. It's just a game, but it's who you become in the process of hunting down those goals. If you are setting the right goals, that's where the magic happens. Most people set such uninspiring goals. They achieve their goals, but they're the same person 1 year to the next year, to the next year, to the next year. So my invitation to you right now is that if you have written down goals for this year, double that shit. Like literally take them, and whatever you have written down, double your goals. Because that is what's going to get you to think in a new way, not setting the comfortable goals. And if you don't know how to do that, then you might want to consider working with me. One of the things that my clients really appreciate about me is by the time that we're done setting their goals, They think they're terrified. But that feeling of what you think is fear, that's your soul giving you a high five saying, woohoo! Yes, we are in the game. Bring it on. It's excitement, darling. It's not fear. You're not going to die, even if there's a real possibility of death in your goal, like some of the goals that I have set in the past in my physical activities. But I ain't dead yet, and neither are you. So why don't you up the game for yourself by deciding, first of all, why you want to set the goals? Because just doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff, or because that's just what everybody else is doing, or that's what you're told to be doing, that's no longer good enough. We are not living in that time anymore. So let me ask you, why are you setting goals? Hit me in the comments. I'd love to know. What is your reasoning around this process? What is the feelings that come up for you when you think about goal setting? Is it fun? Or is it just another, oh, fuck, it's that time of the year again that I have to set my new goals? And be honest with yourself. Because until you start being really honest with yourself, nothing is going to change. Before you set your goals, you really want to connect to what is really important to you. You want to connect to your core values. And even if you know your core values, I would still do an exercise to get clarity on them before setting the goal, because our values change and evolve. Now, there's a second part with regards to what is important to you, and that is what lights your ass on fire. Look, transparently here, my family is really important to me. They really are one of my core values. But would I get excited about setting a goal around family? No, it doesn't motivate me to get up at 4 in the mornings. Does it make me a bad person? Fuck it. Just being honest here. What lights me up, what really gets me going, is building an empire, is leaving a legacy, is making a contribution to humanity at this time. What really lights me up is challenging myself physically and mentally and emotionally, which is why fitness is such an integral part of my life. So you really want to connect to 2 aspects. What is really important to me? What lights me up like nothing else? That stuff where you just, when you think about it, or when you're doing it, time stands still because you get in the zone. You get so excited, you can talk about it all the time. In fact, people call you a little bit obsessed about it. This is the stuff that you want to start focusing on in your goals. And sometimes they make no sense whatsoever. But I want you to trust your desires. Because your soul knows exactly what you want in every area of your life. And she will guide you on the path that feels the best. Please stop buying into the idea that a journey filled with misery will have a happy outcome. Really? The journey is the point. If you're not having fun on the journey, you're on the wrong fucking path. So that is step 2. What are your core values now, today, not from 6 months ago? And what really lights you up? Once you have the foundation in place, this is where you start connecting to the vision. One of my favorite questions to ask people is, if we had to meet 3 years from now, and everything that you had wished for had come to fruition, and we were sitting down for coffee and you're so excited and you're like, oh my God, and now you're never going to believe this. It's all happened. What is it that you would be telling me? And for this part, you really want to get into the details. You want to get into what does your professional life look like? What does your money look like? What does your body look like? What does your sex life feel like? What does your relationships look like? What are the types of conversations that you are having? All of it. You want to create this juicy, holistic picture. You want to tell me about the people that you have met, and you want to tell me about the projects that you have done, and you want to tell me about how this has been feeling all of this time, and you want to get really excited about this. This is where you start connecting to what's really going on under the surface. And I would ask myself, and what else? At least 20 times. Because chances are the first things that you're going to come up with is the superficial stuff. It's the done deal stuff. It's the same old stuff. Or it's the lip service stuff. You know, that stuff that you are always telling people you're going to do one day, but you have no intention of doing it because it's going to be way too much hard work. But, you know, they'll probably think like, woohoo, go you. Oh, honestly, the world does not need another woman who talks a big game but who doesn't take the action. Just saying. The reason why you want to start connecting to the vision is because once you've connected to that part, that's when you only start pulling it back to the goal. I know that you know about a SMART goal by now. It has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be relevant, aka supported by your values, and it has to be timed. I'm not going to speak about that piece again. What I want to speak about instead is that if you nail this part, you'll only have to set one goal. That's right. You only have to set one goal. You want to pick that area of your life that lights you up. You want to pick that area of your life that when you take the action in it, yes, it feels challenging, but oh, it's so rewarding. You want to pick that area in your life that really stretches you. And I'm going to say to you that normally it's not the area that you think. When I first decided to become an Ironman athlete, I had no idea why I wanted to do it. I honestly didn't. I'm one of those people who just goes with the desire of my soul. When something lights me up inside and I'm like, oh my God, yes, I have to do that. I have to be that person. Then I just take out the credit card, I pay, I enter, and then I'm like, oh, fuck, you have to swim 4 kilometers? It might be a little bit of a problem because I don't know how to swim. I was that woman. But here's the thing. In order for me to become an Ironman athlete, I had to look at up-leveling my standards for myself in every area of my life. So maybe you're an entrepreneur and you want to set the goal around your business. Then set the goal around your business, but you want to start identifying what is the standard of women that you would need to be in order for you to have that level of success in business. And then what you really want to do is you want to make that your minimum standard for every area in your life, which means you are going to have to up your standards in your physical well-being, in your emotional well-being, in your mental well-being, in your spiritual well-being. You're going to have to up your standards for your relationships. You're going to have to up your standards for your lifestyle. You're going to have to up your standards for your fitness routine and how you eat. Everything has to increase to meet the new standards of the goal that you have set. Have you ever done that? Have you ever gone, okay, well, because I have now set this business goal, I have to fucking up the game in my fitness. I have to up the game in how I show up in my relationships. I have to up the game in how I show up in my life. Because if you are not doing that, you are not setting yourself up for success. Because remember, the goal is about the growth that you get to experience as a person in life. And you, my darling, are not a one-dimensional little box being. Which means, darling, if you do this right, if you nail this goal properly, you will have enough motivation to up your standards, to up your actions in every area of your life. And if you are not that motivated, you're not connected to the right goal, or you haven't connected to the why. What's the goal that you've just set for yourself? I want you to take out your current goal and have a look at it and ask yourself, for me to achieve this goal, how do I have to up my standards for myself in every other area of my life so that it will equal or better the standards that I have to set myself in this area to be successful? And do I still feel so inspired by my goal that I am willing to do that? And if not, what needs to change in your goal? The next piece, the critical piece, is connecting to your big why. Why do you want to achieve this goal? And I would honestly dig 7 layers deep by continuously asking myself, and why is that important? And why is that important? Where else is this impacting, and why is that important? Who else is this impacting, and why is that important? Until you get to that space where it just clicks and you emotionally open up. And you might even start crying. This is where you get to learn to trust your desires. Because it's never just about the goal. There's always a bigger picture that is at play. Becoming an Ironman wasn't about crossing the finish line. It wasn't even about getting the medal, which is now lying somewhere in a cupboard. Becoming an Ironman was about becoming the woman who truly believes anything is possible, who truly believes that once I have decided, it is a done deal. It was about becoming the woman who respects herself. It was about becoming the woman who showed up for herself regardless of the amount of pain and challenges and people telling me that it was impossible, and just showing up for myself every single day. Becoming an Ironman impacted everything. And when you start connecting to the why, you will start seeing how beautiful this process really is. And you will become unstoppable. So why is this goal important to you? Go 7 layers deep. Stop setting the fluffy goals and start setting the goals that you will die for. The final piece I want you to connect to is the emotions. Like everything that you think you want in life is because how you think it will make you feel. Now, this is important for 2 reasons. The first is that when you start connecting to how you think you will feel by the time that you cross the finish line or hit the target or whatever the case might be, a new energy gets created inside of you, and it's normally such an exciting, uplifting, energized feeling. Like you can hardly contain yourself, which is why emotion creates motion for you. Okay, if you don't understand what the emotion is that's got you all juiced up, then it's really hard for you to take the action and like get the ball rolling. But if you just continuously connect to, oh my God, it feels so amazing. I feel so badass. I feel so exhilarated. I feel so accomplished. I feel like I can conquer the world. Now that, whatever your goal is, when you connect, really connect to that energy, the action part is fun. You want to take the action because you actually can't sit still. You're too excited to sit still. But the other really important part is that when you start seeing where in your life you've already got those emotions going, like what is it that you can already do that increases that emotion in you, and you start doing more of that, you are a vibrational match for your desire. And when you are a vibrational match for your desire, easy peasy lemon squeezy, that or something even better will come along. So, final questions for you, darling. How will it make you feel? And if you are really bad with feeling words, then go and fucking Google feeling words, like preferably positive feeling words. You don't want to feel like shit setting a goal. What would be the point of that? If you're going to set a goal, it's going to feel so hard and challenging, and you're going to feel challenged and overwhelmed and anxious and scared. Don't do that to yourself. Honestly, this is just a freaking game. And the more you get to play the game like a high achiever, the more fun this becomes. And this is why people like myself are continuously setting goals. And I don't care if I fail the first time around. I just go back to the drawing board and I see what I have learned, and I'm at a new position, and then I get a new target, and there off I go. It doesn't say anything about me. It doesn't mean I'm a loser. It doesn't mean that I now have to feel bad about myself and hang my head in shame or any of the crap that people are making it out to be. For heaven's sakes, enough already. So, just to recap for you, why do you want to set the goals? Next, what is really important to you with regards to your core values, as well as what gets your engines revving? Then you want to create the vision that really inspires and excites you before pulling it back and setting the goal. Once you've set the goal, you really want to connect to your big why by going 7 layers deep and then identifying the emotions that you think you will feel once you cross that finish line. This is how alphas do goal setting, darling. Now it's over to you. Has this inspired you to go back to the drawing board and up your game in the goal area? Has this maybe inspired you, if you were just about to give up on goals, to go, oh, actually, I can see how this could be a fun game. I can see how I can really challenge myself and open up the way that I am thinking, how I can really allow myself to fail forward so that I can ultimately succeed. And this is what I'm going to say to you as well. If you are an alpha who loves setting goals, then surround yourself with high achievers, because low achievers, like the average people, shame, they actually don't want you to succeed with the big stuff. They are the ones who will ridicule you and criticize you and, you know, make you feel like this is like a never-ending battle for you. High achievers don't do that. Like, we are so focused on our own stuff, on our own journey. Our head is in our game, and we have respect for the players on our field. A deep respect. We don't care if you fall. As long as you choose to keep on getting back up, respect. We don't care if you fail. As long as you decide to learn from the failure, respect. We don't care if your dreams seem ridiculous. As long as you are audacious enough to dream, respect. So start paying attention to who is on your playing field at the moment. Because if you're playing with the people that feel comfortable and that feel like, you know, they're on the same little journey as you, then chances are you're on the wrong field. Because high achievers are not on the journey with you. They're on their own journey. But they will acknowledge you. And they will support you when you really need it. And they will respect you. Let this video inspire you, darling. And if you've liked this video, please hit the subscribe button, share it, hit that little bell so that you can get notified when new videos are released. And never forget, only death is inevitable. Thriving is always the choice of the alpha. Have a sensational day further. Cheers.